It's Capital Sage, and now that we're on the same page, this week I am Fifth Element Isha. Fifth Element Isha out this thing. It's Capital Sage, and now that we are on the same page, that's what if we're talking about money, don't try to play me, come at me with something. The brand is called Sages, and that's with an S. Now, for this week's episode of Sage's Vitamins, I brought you a vitamin. Basically, when you become interested in things, synchronicities appear. Like attracts like. You will notice more things that are in alignment with what you pay attention to. Therefore, if you become interested in healing yourself, you will notice more ways to do this. Let's get into it. You attract what you are, you get more of what you notice, and you actually speed up the process with gratification. That's a little hack, little life hack from Sages. So for instance, I scratched myself recently on the corner of a table. And my first response was like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I scratched myself, whatever. Then I decided, you know what? Let me be nice to myself. Let me check on myself and let me see what's up with this scratch. So I look at the scratch and I saw the white meat. I scratched myself to the white meat, y'all. I scratched myself to the white meat. So I took a second to mourn my scratch, which you just saw me reenact. I was like, and then, I went about my business. Until I discovered a few minutes later that I was bleeding profusely from the scratch. Like, when it be running and it's kind of messy, like, I scratched myself on the inside of my knee. And when my knees touched, it was wet. And I was like, that's not abnormal. I seen that I was bleeding profusely from the scratch. And so my first thought was, let me go and just put some water on my fingertips and just wipe it off. Because that's what I always do. It's not that serious. Got things to do. Boom, bam, bip. Get the scratch cleaned up. If you pay attention to it at all. And then let's get back to what we was doing. So I went in the bathroom to run water on my hands to wipe off my scratch with my fingertips. And then I said, let me do this neatly. Let me care for myself. So I got a paper towel. And I wet that paper towel. As I'm going to put that paper towel to my scratch, I remembered that I have a bottle of peroxide in the drawer. A whole bottle of peroxide. Now, I'm going to put ointment on my scratch, which is going to help it heal. It's going to make sure it don't have no bacteria. It's going to clean it up. It's going to probably help the scratch heal a little bit easier where it's no scars. So many things. Like, it's gentle. It's going to bubble up and feel nice. You know what I'm saying? It's going to clean the little area around the scratch. I would never have put peroxide on my scratch if I had not stopped and said, let me care for myself. If 5 minutes ago, if I had said, I don't give a damn about this scratch, I'm finna keep living my life, I would have never put beautiful peroxide on my scratch to make sure that it didn't have any bacteria in it, to make sure that it was gonna heal a little faster, to make sure that, it stopped bleeding, to make sure that I could see bubbles, you know what I'm saying? All of these things happened because I stopped and said, I'm about to care for myself. And that's my cue. It's Capital Sage, and now that we on the same page, hit the Cash App. I really hope that helped you. I just want you to take the little stuff that I give and realize that it's not little. See you next week.